Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Stash Bust My Desk session. Now I've been through my strips and I've put them into different colours, and I thought for today I'm going to use up all of these strips to make backgrounds, and then on another moment I'll come on and we'll do some make some cards with what I've made. So first of all, I need a piece of card to stick them onto. So yeah, I'm going to look in my scrap box and just switch you off while I have a hunt around. Okay, so I've had a look around, and for the first set, I'm going to use this piece of 12 by 3, I think it is, which came from the cover of a, what's it called? The cover of a paper pad. So usually I was going to use this double-sided paper, but I think sticky paper, but I'm going to use, because it's a funny shape, I'm going to use double-sided sellotape. So first of all, put down the double-sided sellotape. You don't have to do this, you could use glue instead, but I find that this is an easier way. Well, at least for me it's an easier way. Right, okay. And this sellotape's quite wide, so that should work quite well. Okay, got a narrow strip. Got this narrow one here. It looks wide, but it's only got glue in the middle of the strip. Right, okay, let's get going. So I'll take these off. So when I do this, I usually divide my strips up into colorways so that you know, there's a bit of harmony. So I've put together yellows and greens, blues and silver and purple, and then pinks, and then maybe a bit of gold by the look of it. And just now, when I was looking for a piece of card to do this with, to lay down as the base, I found loads more strips. But these are the ones that were on my desk, so that's what we're going to tackle today. So I just can't believe, how quickly they mount up. So okay, so I'll take that off, and let's see if we can get this one off. So this has now become very, very sticky, of course, as you can imagine. I'll just get that off. There we are. So there's my sticky base. And I'm going to start with the greens and yellows, I think, because that's the one that I've got the most of. I'll move the pinks and the blues to one side for the moment. Okay, now there are several ways of doing this, and I have got bits which are not strips, they're bigger bits, but let's have a look. So I think what I want to do is just do put down a series of diagonals for the moment, and okay, so I'm starting at this top corner. Just see, you might recognize some of this papers from what I've been doing over the last little while. See, does that one fit there? Just. We've got any more small bits? It's blue. Got this, which I could just stick down. they don't all have to be the same size, as you can see. So I put some that way, so now I want to put them this way. Just I don't want these that are so wide. Might have to cut some down a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that use the smaller ones for sort of further along the page, if you know what I mean. So let's go like that, and then like this, and then maybe I can put that there. It's a big one. Okay, and now I want to go this way. What have I got? No, please don't stick there. Okay. So pop this here. And then we'll go, no, we're going this way. So I'm alternating the direction that the papers are going in, basically. And when you do this, of course, you can leave gaps in between if you want, and you can put little strips of, you can put those peel-off strips in between, or you can use glitter, or you can use gilding flakes. But I'm not going to be putting anything in mine, so I'm butting everything up together so that there's no sticky bits. You can also use different thicknesses of paper. It doesn't matter, card or whatever you want to use. What else have I got here? I've got this piece here. Let's use this. And I'm not giving much thought to this, I have to say. So we've got that. We're coming up now to the last bit. What have we got left? Got these lovely offcuts from Dawn's Matthew and Maisie kit here. Oh, I've got this one. This is pretty. I think first of all, I'm just going to cut this down a bit. Some of these strips are now a bit too wide. I've got this one. This one might work. Oh, this is nice. And got another bit of Matthew and Maisie here. Okay, so we'll just cut this down a little bit. There's nothing to say we can't do that. I'm just cutting this in half. So we'll have one bit here. And we'll have one bit here. Like so. And then, what else have we got? Got this green bit. Trying to use up all the little bits, really. First of all, because they are not useful for anything else, if you know what I mean. They're just, okay, I've got this bit. Like so. I'm going to cut that off and put this bit here. And then I just need some little bits. Well, I might just cut off some of the bits up here and use something from there if I can find my scissors. Here they are. I wanted to use the big scissors. So the magic happens when you do this. Oops. So now I've got lots of bits that I can, so this, and it's just this corner here, and I was thinking of seeing if I could use this bit somehow. I need to have a rectangle, a right angle, to be able to, okay. And then I've still got a teeny weeny bit there. So let's see. Actually, it's not very sticky there, so I won't be able to do it. So there we have it. That is the first strip done. Quite happy with that. And so you can see it goes this way, then it goes that way, this way, and then that way. So I'll probably cut that into 2 pieces, and that will be 2 backgrounds. So that's the first one. So let's just clear all of this away, and I'll be very good and throw this away. Throw it away, because you know, for me, I can't bear to throw away things, but I think, you know, when I do this, I am prepared to throw a few things away, because I feel I've used up some of the strips. Right, so for the next one, I've got this piece. This is a card base that I had, and it is so flimsy. So I thought, well, I could use this. So again, I'm going to use the double-sided sellotape, I think. And we'll do a different type of pattern. And we'll do it in a different colour. So this is also a great way to use up papers that you don't like, to use as a base, or, you know, bits of card that you've spoilt and unwilling to throw away because, you know, it's expensive or whatever. This is a great way to use those things up. I'll just put a strip of this narrow stuff here. Right, so let's get this sorted. I haven't put any over this bit here because that's, well, I didn't want a fold in my base. So this should just make a nice base for an A6 card, or for a 5x7 card, come to that. So just get rid of the backing papers. And so for this one, I think maybe I'm going to go with the blues. We'll see. Let's see how that goes. Right, okay, here we are. Stick that down. Right, put that in the bin. So here we have it. It's a little bit sticky on the edges, so I'll just put those on the inside so it doesn't stick to my mat. Right, so these are the greens that I've got left over, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. And I've got a bit of yellow and creamy colour, but nothing like what I had before, so that's good. So I'll put those to one side. And let's start with the blues. Now, I do have 2 greeny bits which I might incorporate. So let's see what we've got in the way of blues, greys, and silvers. So I've got all of these strips. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting one fairly, a big fat one, like so. And then I'm going to cut off the excess. So putting some strips in this direction. You can see what I'm doing. Just realise I'm right on the edge of the field. Okay, so we put some strips in this direction. I shouldn't have I shouldn't have cut that as I did. Let's see, I can stick that down a bit, and okay. So 3, and then we want to put some more this way. So 1, and then 1 this way. This gives a more random appearance. 1 this way, and then I need something small to go in there, maybe this bit. Okay, I'm going to cut those bits off now, and of course the beauty of doing it with double-sided tape is you don't have to wait for the glue to dry, which is you know, because you wouldn't be able to turn it over and do this straight away if you were using glue, because the pieces could move, especially tiny pieces. They could come out and that. So right, okay, so we've got that. So we've got that. So now I'm going to go do the same here. So I'm going to go down and across, and down, oops, and across. This nice purpley one here. It is good to try and put you know, the same colors in different places. This is what I'm trying to do. So that's why I'm using up these small pieces. So, and you do need the piece to have a very straight edge if you want it to work. You know, you do need that right angle. So down like so. Got this pinky piece, I haven't used that yet. What else have we got? Maybe this one. I'm not very good at cutting straight, so that's that one. Put that there, and then I've got this little bit here which will fit in there. Just turn this over. Of course, this is a much smaller piece of paper that I've used as the backing, so it doesn't take so many strips. I am cutting it just to here, even though I haven't, you know, this isn't, because I want to cut that with a guillotine. I can find the guillotine sitting on it. I've got such little space that I when I use something, I stick it behind me on the chair, especially the guillotine or bag of paper or whatever. So I can't find anything, that's usually where it is. Right, so there we have the second one, and I'm quite pleased with that as well. So let's see how long we've been on. 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look and see what I've got amongst these bits that I've cut off, if there's any that I want to keep. Okay, so I think just these bits, and these bits can go. Okay, so we'll do one more, which will be the pinks, and then that will be most of my strips used up, which will be great. So let's see what we can use for the pink base. Okay, so I've got this piece of packaging, which could be good. So just again, put the double-sided sellotape on. Now you don't have to go in different directions like I've been doing. You can do, you know, just all the way down like that, or you can do it straight. straight, like rainbow colours. There's all sorts of ways that you can stick your strips down, but the last one we did happens to be my favourite way of doing it. But I think this time I might just go in diagonal strips. Right, let's take the release papers off again. Okay, that is those done. As I said, I think for the pinks I'm going to go acrossways. Just turn this double sellotape back on itself so that my thing doesn't stick too badly. So I'm taking one of the longest pieces that I've got, just to make sure that I use it up to the maximum. Right, so this is the direction, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to have enough paper. I have got other colours which would go in, would look nice, like this blue, for example. So do that, and then what else have I got? Got this pretty pink card, which is nice. Now you have to make sure that your ends, see, I was going to stick it like that, but you need to make sure that this bit is covered. So you actually need to make sure that all of it covers the whole card, if you know what I mean. To stick this down as it is now. However, I have got a little purple strip here, which I will put here to hide that gap. Okay, but we'll do that at the end. Let's see, what else can I use? Got a silver bit here. And in fact, I've got some strips of this, and I might cut them up and we can put a little line in between each one. So I'll keep these two bits to the side. Okay, so we've got this one. I'll show you what I mean. If I don't think I made that very clear. Got this bluey one. I thought this was going to be pink, Christine. It was. Now I just need an end. I don't know whether this piece is big enough for there, like so. And now just turn it round and do the others. So got this greeny one. And got this pretty one. Any more pretty bits? This pretty bit. And again, I want a very small piece, so maybe this from here. I can put that there. Okay, so let's turn this over and cut these bits off. It's sticky there. Okay, so I think you'll agree with me that if we put some strips along, it will look much better. It's just some bits. I've got a blue one here, so let's see what that looks like. So just kind of breaks it up a bit. Or even a bit of this would look nice, maybe. So if I need to cut these into very thin strips. So this, I've got a gold one. I might just use up what I've got first. I've got gold. I've got this pinky one. I think I've got another pinky one somewhere. Oh, I've got this one, which automatically has that. Got a bit of silver which I can put. Okay, that one is needs to be quite long. What's this? This is the other bit of the purple. Don't think it's long enough to go here, unfortunately. Although, let's see, if I put those two together, and I've got a bit that's that long, certainly would fit there. So that's what we'll do. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces. And this piece could be just right. So try and cut this into 4 pieces. Wish me luck. Okay. So they'll be 1/4 of an inch wide, each piece. There we are. I've got those bits. So let's start sticking. See that this piece isn't straight. Or my glue decides to drip down. I'll cut this straight. It's about 1/8 of an inch wider at one end than the other. Maybe this is the straight edge. Let's see. Yeah. Just a slither off makes all the difference, doesn't it? Okay. Right, let's see if my glue has decided to descend. Yeah, that's good. Where was this going? Here, I think. This one also isn't straight. I'll sort that out in a minute. So let's do this one. When I do this, I normally use peel-offs, but this is also a great way for using up your little strips of plain card. So and as you can see, nothing gets wasted. You know, I mean, really, was it worthwhile hanging on to such a tiny strip of mirror card? And I will say, yes, it is. It was. Okay, so I'm going to put this piece here. I'm just going to put the glue along there. That's a bit easier. Okay, stick that there. Stick this one here. the silver ones. 1 and 2. So stick that there. And I can use that bit for there. It's a bit thick, but anyway, and then I can use this piece, hopefully. No, it's not big enough. Okay, so I might have to use another silver bit there. No, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. Okay, so I need a silver bit here. Like so. Just, and this blue bit needs cutting down. So I'm thinking if I can get a very thin bit out. Like so, to put here. Yeah. So there we are. I might be able to put that one there as well. Yep. It's looking good. And then the other piece that I cut off, which is, where's it gone now? Oh, it's still here. Still here in the thing. Can go here. I don't think it's too noticeable that it's not, that it's a bit wider at the top than at the bottom. So hopefully it will stick and look nice. Right. Okay. So that actually really makes a difference, doesn't it, to the paper. Turn it over the other way. So thank you for staying with me and watching me muddle through this process. I hope I've given you some inspiration, and I will be back at another moment, and we're going to use these. I'm really pleased how that's come out. I think it looks so pretty, really pretty. So these are the ones we made, and this is the long one that we made. Okay, so I have got probably enough strips to make another one, so but I'll do that off camera, and then we'll come back in another moment to destash my desk with using these card bases. So thank you for watching. Take care. Have a lovely day, everybody. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.